Hero FinCorp presents Young Turks, 14 years.
I'm going to ask each of you to point out what to your mind was the one big event or within your companies or in the ecosystem at large that typifies what 2015 was for startups.
The time when Ola raised that big round, and we as a company have significantly been inspired by the work. So we moved from Oracle to Oyo, which was the open marketplace, to this more standardized, branded, managed marketplace system. And internally, when we started launching new cities and seeing the network effects of consumers who used to stay with us in one city over others, a combination of these things opened our eyes to what the reality could be.
I think one of our most important learnings came by in the last month itself. A lot of our competition was getting funded left, right and center, and everybody was betting on us to fail. I actually heard about one of our competitors raising a seed round and spending half of that money building a fancy office. Okay, and that's when I told my team that you don't need to worry about anything that they're doing right now. Okay.
For you, Kashyap?
Sure, I would say...
Apart from writing a book.
Yeah, so, that was my company this year. At the end of July is when I started spending more nights in the basement, because by that time, I sort of knew that the war is at its peak. This whole pyramid constructed under these global funds, and VCs trying to feed deals to those global funds, angels trying to feed deals to those VCs, entrepreneurs trying to start companies that have the best chance of getting funded, not the companies that they wanted to spend the next 10 years building. I sort of intuitively knew that I think something's going to snap, and we're just waiting for some external trigger. And I started speculating which those external triggers would be, and it turned out to be the China thing at the end of August.
But Kashyap, I don't know if the war is really over, because the truth is many of these categories, there is one or two strategics in the fray who seem to be having unlimited appetite for funding. And so it's not as if the war is over. It may take a while more, but let's see what happens.
So going into 2016, Deepinder, what's your three big things that you want to, as an entrepreneur, achieve?
We have actually spread our business quite wide in a lot of countries. I think we're going to work very hard to bring all of these markets closer to profitability. Right? And of course, they're going to be one of two bigger markets where we'll still be incurring a lot of losses. But markets like India, UAE, Australia should be making enough of profit to cover up for those losses as well. So I think profitability at a company-wide level is our biggest goal right now, and that's one thing we're going to focus on.
One of it is being able to make sure we continue recruiting the best team in growing this market further. And second, making sure that whatever we're doing is fairly measured and has a real outcome to it.
I think for Infoedge, we need to be able to ensure that Naukri growth keeps happening. Naukri is a 55% EBITDA margin business, and it's negative working capital, so that's what really keeps the engines running. So first is to ensure Naukri is fine. Second is to consolidate our leadership position in the real estate space. 99 acres, we believe that the worst is over as far as competition is concerned. And I think 2016 is the year we can hope to consolidate some of that.
And as an investor?
We never look at spaces top down. We prefer to do it bottom up. We meet entrepreneurs. We figure out what they're doing. We feel like the idea, like the team, we do something.
Kashyap, for you have a startup underway. What is 2016 going to be like?
For the ecosystem, I think my top three that we need are exits. I think no more promises. Let's get to some output here. Let's stop asking how much more funding will happen. Well, if we start giving outputs, the golden tap has a lot of gold behind it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Hero FinCorp presents Young Turks, 14 years.